What the hell is up, everybody? Louis back here again for a very special event, Bellator versus Rizin on New Year's Eve. I'm excited for it, man. You got 5 guys from Bellator going against 5 guys from Rizin. Sign me up, man. Co-promotion is pretty cool. We'll see how it goes. Not quite UFC level, but should be a fun card. Couple quick things. They're fighting inside a ring with ropes, not a cage, and strikes or knees, kicks to a down opponent are legal. So, should be interesting. I did some research. I'm only going to do the main card. Don't watch a ton of Rizin, unfortunately. But, you know, have some fun with it. And, you know, see what happens. First fight on the main card, 155 pounds. Men's lightweight. You got RABADANOV from Bellator taking on TAKEDA from Rizin. Godzi took on Bobby King his last fight. In the first round, he throws some double jabs at range. Throws some double jabs to get into range, but then he ducks the hook. Then he shoots a double, gets into full guard. A little bit of ground and pound, but then he just postures up, passes the legs, and he takes his back, puts one hook in, but then he's able to get another double leg whenever he escapes. Decent ground control there. Then in the second round, he eats overhand at range, but he circles, and then he kind of backs out of range of the shots, but then he gets a single off of his jab, and then he's in half guard, he takes his back, throws in a rear naked choke attempt, but then he gets reversed, but then he has an arm bar, not successful, but always scrambling, always moving, like to see that. Then in the third round, he eats a right and then a left, and then a long hook while he's circling backwards, kind of getting caught off guard, but then he lands overhand right, and then a left hook, and then whenever he's backing up, but he's able to duck the hooks, and then he gets an underhook to a knee tap takedown into half guard, and transitions to full mount. Very strong way to end the fight. Pretty impressive. And then Koji Takeda took on Zach Zane his last fight. In the first round, he goes forward, lands some jabs, and he just rolls with the overhand blitz that's coming to him. But then he gets the body locks him to the corner turnbuckle. He has the over-under, and then he shucks him by, and then he's able to take his back. Big lift, nice mat return. And then he's in the front headlock position. Then he's able to transition to a full guard. Then he's able to throw a leg pass to get to the side, and then gets the armbar submission. So, you know, armbar from top. Pretty solid stuff. Not a long fight, but he's pretty good on the ground. I kind of noticed a lot of these Rizin guys are pretty slick with submissions. They like to scramble on the ground a little more. So, and then I think the ring kind of forces the action a little bit more. Some more scrambles maybe. But Koji Takeda plus 200. Godzi is minus 275. You know, I'm just going to go with Godzi. You know, Koji has went the distance, but seems like he might just... Oh, one more thing. They judge the fight as a whole 3 rounds. But, you know, I still think that he's more of a first-round fighter, and I think he might blow his load in the first round, trying to submit him. So, you know, I just think Godzi's kind of the more complete fighter. You know, I wish I had better analysis, but, you know, I'm just kind of going off what I see here. And, you know, kind of as long as he doesn't get caught in a submission, I think we'll be okay. I'm going to go with Godzi. You know, why not? Okay, second fight of the main card, 135 pounds men's bantamweight. You got one ARCHULETA taking on Soo Chul Kim. Should be fun here. ARCHULETA took on Enrique Barzola his last fight. In the first round, he presses on the inside, lands some straight combinations, and then a left cross. Then he lands a jab, and then a right uppercut to finish it off. And then he gets the high single, takes the back up against the cage. And then he lands a leg kick and then a 1-2. Some step-in combinations, but then he gets doubled. He gives up his back. But then he's able to kind of swim out and throw him off his back. Then in the second round, he gets a high single from range, but he's not able to hold him down very long. But then he throws a left and then a right, and he circles out. And then he's able to complete the double leg takedown off of the fence, but then he eats a left hook when he has his back to the fence. But then in the third round, he gets a blast double from space, and he jabs, kind of circles on the outside, shoots a high single to the fence, and then he gets starts pressuring, and then he shoots some doubles, but then he gets out. He gets double leg, gets pressured, gets double leg, but then he's able to get out with a nice switch. You know, he's not trying to play on the ground there, and he's always looking for the top position, or at least to stand up, so I like seeing that. But then he gets blitzed to the fence and doubled, then he kind of gives up his back toward the end there. But, you know, he had, you know, 3 solid rounds there, so. And then Soo Chul Kim took on Hiromasa OUGIKUBO. Okay, I tried. In the first round, he lands a left hook to the body, and then right to the head, left to the body, left to the head. Then he eats a 1-2 and a body kick, and then a 1-2 at range. But then he eats a counter hook when he gets clinched up against the ropes. But then he's able to hit an outside trip to a double leg, kind of from space. Not able to hold him down very long, though, but kind of a sneaky attack. Then in the second round, they're in the pocket, and then he lands a left uppercut to the body, and then another one to the head, and then he drops him with a left hook. But then when they get back to space, he misses a back fist, and then they're in a clinch battle, but then he's able to get on the double leg, take down off the ropes, end the round. I like seeing that. Then in the third round, he gets a blast double off the corner. Then he lands a left cross at range and defends the double leg, and, you know, able not to give any points up at the end of the fight. So I like seeing that. Sochul Kim plus 120, one Archuleta minus 155. I'm going to go with Archuleta here. I think that decent style. He just kind of moves in and out, and then he will shoot for the single or the double leg. Might not always get them, but he always constantly has that pressure, and I think he's just going to be able to stay on the outside of Sochul, and I don't think Sochul is going to be able to take him down, and if he is, Archuleta is just going to be able to keep scrambling. I think Archuleta is going to outpace him over 3 rounds. I'm going to go with Archuleta here. You know, pretty decent line there, too, as well. Okay, feature fight of the main card, 125 pounds, men's flyweight. You got Kyoji Horiguchi coming down from bantamweight 135, taking on Hiromasa OUGIKUBO. And these guys have already fought before. A while ago, Horiguchi won these, but I'm not really going to look at that because it was a long time ago. Okay, Horiguchi took on Patchy Mix his last fight. In the first round, he circles on the outside, but then he's able to kind of just like duck under the overhand, but then he gets backpacked, then he gets pulled down with the body triangle. Sorry, he's able to step in, and then he lands an overhand, but Patchy kind of like rolls with it, and then he gets backpacked really easily because Patchy Mix is a great grappler, and he gets pulled down on the ground in the body triangle. Can't do much that first round after that. Kind of a 10-8 round. Didn't get like dominated with damage, but just really couldn't do anything. But then in the second round, he lands some step-in leg kicks, but he misses the hook, and then he backs out of range. But then he slips the jab, and he misses the right cross though. But then he lands a step-in overhand, finally finding his mark with those. But then he backs up, and then he lands a counter left hook, but then he eats a short right in return in that exchange. But then in the third round, he lands a step-in overhand right. Then he lands a jump knee to an overhand, and then he's able to circle out. But then he gets cut off on the cage, and then he gets doubled. Patchy able to find his range there. Then he gives up his back, but then he switches his hips, and he's able to get on top at the end. Like 20 seconds left. Couldn't do too much, but at least he's still trying to scramble and get a good position there. And then Hiromasa OUGIKUBO, he took on Sochul Kim his last fight. He lost, but I'm going to look at his other fight. He took on Kai Asakura, his fight before that. In the first round, he backs out of range, but then he hands down and step-in leg kick with his hands down, just kind of leaving his chin out there, which I was surprised by. But then he lands a step-in leg kick, but doesn't throw anything in front of it, so that's kind of dangerous there. But then he's able to duck the blitz attempt, and then he gets a single and a full guard, and then a full mount, and then he's able to maintain the back position while he's standing up. Then in the second round, he lands some step-in head kicks, but then he eats some jabs while he's backing up with his hands down again. Don't know what's up with that, but then he eats a hook. But then he lands a step-in right hook, but then he gets a single off of his hook, but he's not able to finish the takedown there. But then he misses left cross, but then he's able to land a step-in right hook off of there. Right, left, right hooks with a blitz motion. Very nice. And then he's kind of blitzed some hooks, and then he's able to get inside of him, get the body lock, and get a nice mat return takedown to end the round. Then in the third round, he eats some jabs and a head kick, but then he lands a counter right hook. And then they're in a firefight, but then he's able to kind of break away and land a nice 1-2 at range, clean down the middle. And then he shoots multiple singles to the ropes whenever they're in a pocket exchange. They're just kind of throwing at each other, kind of even, and then he'll just like break it up with a single. So decent strategy from him at the end of the fight. And Hiromasa plus 325, Horiguchi minus 500. I'm going to go with Hiromasa, you know, just because Horiguchi got knocked out by Pettis. I just don't think he'll be the same fighter. Also, I know Horiguchi should be a natural 125er. Still, I got to think about people dropping weight classes for whatever reason. And, you know, Hiromasa, it looks like he's going to be able to might be able to hit him with some big shots. I mean, I know Horiguchi kind of does, but I think he like circles and stays on the outside too long. Kind of wastes too much time as of late, it seems like. and I think he might be able to take him down with a single, or at least I think Hiromasa is going to be able to buy some time with that single and kind of break up any momentum Horiguchi has, and also minus 500. I don't know. It's got not a great feeling about that. I'm going to go with Hiromasa. OUGIKUBO. We'll see. On to the co-main event. 145 pounds, men's featherweight. Got Patricio Pitbull, the Bellator featherweight champion, taking on Kleber KOIKE. I'm so sorry. KOIKE. Ugh. Alright, anyway, Pitbull took on Adam Borich's last fight. In the first round, he lands a 1-2 off of his jab, then an overhand off of a jump knee, able to take his back. Very fast scrambler. Then back on the feet, he has double overs, hits an inside trip, ends around on top. Pretty nice, not a ton of damage. Second round, he counters a jab with the right hook, and then he stalks forward, but then kind of eats some kicks, but he doesn't care. But then he catches the leg kick, gets another takedown, just kind of rides it out. Then in the third round, he catches the jump knee, gets the takedown, transitions the full mount, and then into a backpack. Really dominant round. This was 5 rounds, but pretty sure this fight's only going to be 3 rounds. I don't know. It's hard to find information on it. Anyway, Kleber, he took on Jintaro Yushiku, okay? And in the first round, he lands a head kick, but then he ducks the hook to the double leg, and then he gets in a half guard, tries to go for an arm triangle, but then he gets swept, tries it off his back. Can't really get it, though. But then he uses the leg block to get up, and then he kind of pulls guard. It looks like either that or he's going for like a lateral drop, but ends the round on his back. Okay. And then the second round, he catches the kick, lands a hook, blitz of hooks, excuse me, catches a kick, bow, bow, bow. Okay, and then he's able to defend a leg lock attempt, though, because Yushiku is pretty scrambly. But then he gets, and then back on the feet, he hits a headlock, and then he's able to get into the triangle position from his back and gets a submission. So, pretty good stuff from him, and pretty explosive off his back. Kleber plus 255, Patricio minus 360. Yeah, I'm going to go with Patricio Pitbull. I think he hits a lot harder, and I think Kleber is just going to be trying to pull him onto his back or catch him in some kind of submission. I think Patricio is too smart for that. I think his takedowns, he drives through people, and I think he's just going to beat him up. But, you know, anything could happen. I just don't see Patricio getting caught in some sort of select submission. I'm going to go with Patricio here, but we'll see, man. There's going to be one upset on here. Who knows? The main event at 155 pounds, men's lightweight, AJ the Mercenary McKee taking on Roberto Satoshi Souza. Should be a fun one. AJ McKee took on Spike Carlisle his last fight. It was a war for a while. In the first round, he rocks him with 1-2 in the firefight. Then he lands some knees inside the clinch, and then he gets a double off the fence, but then he gets reversed while he's taking his back, and then he eats some ground and pound, but then he's able to hit a nice half-guard sweep, and then a Granby roll, and then he's able to take his back, and you can see Spike's gas tank kind of diminishing at this point, but Spike did empty it out in the first round, so it's understandable. Then in the second round, he lands a counter left hook. He's able to defend the shot of Spike with a whizzer, and then he's able to hit a double to his back. Back on the feet, he lands some 1-2s off of Spike's wild hooks that he's throwing, and then he tries to go for the anaconda from the headlock position, but then he's able to just like pancake him over, and he's able to take full guard. So decent. Really good round for him. Didn't like overcommit to the anaconda choke, but he went for it, so I like that. Then in the third round, he eats a kick, but then he gets body lock, hip toss, but he's able to get the body lock, hip toss into side control, take 1-2, get a takedown. Then he's able to keep him down with the double. Spike gets up, he's able to double him immediately off the fence, and then he's able to get to his back, and then he lands some nice elbows, kind of like from the back, also like half guard position. And then he pulls the guillotine with like a minute and some change to go. Can't get it, but no big deal. And he went for it, and he already knew he was up, so why not try to finish it? I like seeing stuff like that. Really good bounce back win for him. And then Souza took on Johnny Case his last fight in Rizin. In the first round, he slides back, lands a step in right cross, then he lands overhand right whenever he gets pressed. But he throws the overhand, goes for the snatch single, but then he gets pancaked, tries the armbar. Then they get into this very strange scramble position. It's kind of like he goes to like a Peterson position. And Souza is draped over Johnny Case's back while they're standing up, okay? And then he just kind of flops to his back because Johnny like just kind of shucks him off, and he just kind of lays on his back, kind of weird. But then back on the feet, he steps into a jab, but then he's able to get that snatch single, and then he goes for able to get the triangle / armbar and finish that with his back to the mat from like side position. Has his legs wrapped around his neck like a triangle. Also has that armbar, and it was brutal. So that guy scrambles pretty well. Souza plus 180, AJ McKee minus 200. I'm going to go with AJ McKee here. I just don't see a reason why not to. Souza, typically like a first-round fighter. And again, I just don't see AJ getting caught in any of these submissions. AJ is kind of like a wild starter, but I mean, he's going to bring it to him. Souza likes to lay on his back, and I think, you know, if AJ gets into an uncomfortable position, I think he knows what his game is. He's not going to, like, give him anything, give him a limb or give him his neck. You know, I just see AJ taking him down, beating him up. I see AJ potentially getting a finish here, honestly, like maybe in the second round, halfway through the second round. But, you know, should be a fun fight. I'm going to go with AJ McKee here. And, yeah, I'm excited for this card. You don't see too many cross promotions. I think it's pretty cool. All right, everyone. Thanks for checking in with me, following me, I guess. This is just kind of like a fun one. I might go 0-5. Don't really care. No UFC for a couple more weeks, so I thought this would be cool. Just have some fun, watch it, and, you know, support some of the lesser-known shows. All right, everybody. Let's see some upsets. Let's see some profits, and let's see some victories. Good luck, everyone.